All right, welcome. In this explainer, we're going to dig into a spirit you probably think you know inside and out, vodka. But we're here to challenge some of those common ideas.
So earlier in this series, we talked about the basics, right? How vodka gets made and why it's legally defined as a neutral spirit. The whole idea is that it's supposed to be without any real distinctive character, aroma, or taste.
But does neutral really mean it's just nothing? Kind of like alcoholic water? Absolutely not. And that's exactly what we're going to get into today. We're going to look past flavor and focus on two things that are often totally overlooked: texture and mouthfeel.
Okay, so to really understand what's going on with vodka, we have to shift our thinking. Let's talk less about what it tastes like and more about how it physically feels.
Mouthfeel. I mean, the name says it all, right? It's literally how a spirit feels in your mouth. We're not talking about notes of vanilla or citrus here. We're talking about its weight, how it feels on the tongue, its texture. Think of it like the architecture of the liquid itself.
So what exactly are we looking for? Well, first up is weight. Is the vodka light and zippy, or is it full-bodied and heavy? Then you've got the alcohol structure. That's the warmth or heat you perceive. After that, there's viscosity. Is it thin, almost like water, or does it have a richer, kind of oily quality? All of these things combine to create what we call its texture, which you might describe as silky, creamy, or even crisp.
And here's where it gets really interesting. These textures, they don't just happen by accident. Oh no. They are deliberately created by distillers making very specific choices during production.
Let's start with distillation. The number of times a vodka is distilled has a massive impact on the final product. See, if you distill it over and over, you tend to strip out more of the congeners. Those are the little compounds that give it flavor and texture. The result? A lighter, crisper vodka. But if you distill it fewer times, you might leave some of that character from the original raw ingredient, which can lead to a richer, weightier feel.
It's the exact same story with filtration. If you use really aggressive charcoal filtering, you're trying to strip everything out, right? You're going for that super clean, super neutral profile. But some distillers do the opposite. They might use very little filtration or even specialized types because they want to keep some of those textural elements, the things that make a vodka feel more oily or creamy.
You know, just think about the vodkas on your back bar, the one in the speed rail versus your top shelf bottle. Ever noticed how one might feel a bit richer and another feels sharper, even if you pour them the exact same way? Yeah, that's the texture we're talking about. I'd love to hear what you've noticed, so drop your experiences in the comments below.
Okay, that's all great in theory, but how does this actually play out behind the bar? When you're slammed on a Friday night, why should you care about the viscosity of your vodka? Well, it matters. A lot.
This quote right here just nails it. As bartenders, we're all about creating texture with our techniques, right? Shaking adds aeration and makes a drink crisp. Stirring gives you that silky, smooth feel. But here's the thing, the spirit you start with, that's your foundation.
You just can't build a rich, velvety cocktail if your base spirit is thin and sharp. It doesn't work. And on the flip side, you're not going to get a super crisp, bracing drink out of a vodka that's naturally soft and creamy. The vodka's texture is the canvas, and you're the artist.
Think about a vodka martini, for example. What kind of experience are you trying to create for your guest? Do you want something classic, sharp, almost crystalline? Then you want to grab a lighter, crisper vodka. Or maybe you're going for a softer, more luxurious mouthfeel. In that case, you'd reach for something richer, more oily. Your choice of vodka totally changes the final drink.
And this leads us straight into one of the biggest myths in the entire spirits industry, especially when we talk about what makes a spirit good.
So here's the deal. Smooth is just one characteristic. It's not a universal sign of quality. A vodka that has a bit more heat, a bit more bite, isn't automatically a bad vodka. In fact, sometimes that's exactly what you want. Think about a Moscow Mule. You need a vodka with enough backbone to stand up to all that spicy ginger beer and zesty lime. A smooth vodka might just get lost.
All right, let's pull all this together. What are the big takeaways from this deep dive into vodka's hidden character?
Okay, here are the 4 things I really want you to remember. 1. Neutral applies to flavor, not texture. 2. Distillers use production methods like distillation and filtration to deliberately shape that texture. 3. The texture of your vodka is the foundation of your cocktail's texture. And 4. Smooth isn't always the goal. The best texture is the one that's right for the drink you're making.
So if you start thinking past this whole neutrality myth, you can start using texture to be way more intentional with your cocktails and really elevate your craft. Let me know in the comments if this changes how you think about vodka. And definitely, next time you're behind the bar, take a moment to really explore these ideas for yourself.